All right, what's up, people of the Valley and our listeners abroad?
Yeah.
It's your favorite hour of Wednesday, but basically your favorite hour of the week with the Sam and Dan Show.
Yeah, you already know. 88.7 WXJM.
Yep, this is WXJM Harrisonburg broadcasting live. So,
All right. Usually for one of our shows, we talk about a specific creature that we're interested in, and we think you guys will be interested in. But this week we're mixing things up a little bit, and we're going to be talking about a whole array of topics.
all right, pretty huge range. We're swapping it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about magic this this broadcast, and we got a lot of real magical things to talk about. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So, as you guys know, the devout listeners of our show, fans we like to call them, Sam and Dan fans,
Yeah,
they know our show's about mystery and what's really
and
out
intrigue.
there. Right, and just, uncommon knowledge that we're bringing to the people. Because, the Sam and Dan Show is the voice of the people.
Absolutely.
So, we're just trying to keep in that theme, a little bit different from the usual, but let's get started. So, Dan, what is the first item on our list that we're going to be talking about today?
So, first off, one of the most magical items, and also something that, can be seen in many pop culture, in a lot of pop culture, I mean, like in films, songs and stuff. We're talking about the Magic 8 Ball.
The one and only Magic 8 Ball?
Yes, based on the pool ball, but a magical version.
So, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
But why the 8? What's wrong with all the other balls? Why not the Magic Cue Ball,
Well, the 8 Ball, it's the formation for 8. It also, if you turn it sideways, is infinity, which is
sort of showing an infinite amount of potential knowledge.
An infinite amount of magic. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's why the Magic 8 Ball was chosen, and not the Magic Cue Ball or the Magic 3 or something.
Or
3 of
7
stripes.
Ball.
Yeah, just it wouldn't have the same flow, really.
Right.
And
that kind of makes sense. I'm with you on that. I'm on the same page.
the dude who came up with the idea of endowing the 8 Ball with magic, Albert Carter, his mom was a clairvoyant. She had extrasensory perception, and
That's a pretty big word.
Yeah.
You care to break that down for us a little bit?
ESP, extrasensory perception, you can sense
Like the sports channel?
minus the N.
Right, of
Yeah.
course.
But very similar. Well, actually not similar at all.
All right.
Yeah, ESP, it's when you have the ability to sense things other people cannot. Like some
like extra special gut feelings, you could say.
yeah, exactly. Right? That's really what it is,
Or like spidey senses, kind of.
And this was tested a lot during the Cold War. People think nuclear powers are really what people were afraid of, but it's truly extrasensory powers.
Right, that makes sense. According to our research here, there were secret underground testing programs that did test ESP powers during the Cold War, such as MK Ultra is probably the most popular one that people have heard of. That one is sort of parodied and satirized in the show Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So, how they have the child underwater with a lead vest on, stuff like that. Her mind powers are ESP.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
usually they don't put people underwater. They just put lead vests on them until they become magical.
Right.
'Cause-
pretty proven technique.
Yeah.
Get enough x-rays, you'll get magic powers too.
We're currently wearing lead right now for the hopes that we'll obtain some sort of magic. Our expertise is mostly in researching creatures and hunting them with our team. But, the magic game is definitely something we're interested in.
Right.
So-
Anything that gives us an edge over the creatures that we're hunting for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And if I can sense what Bigfoot's thinking, there's no escaping. He's done.
oh, you best believe it.
Yeah.
You always got to think 2 steps ahead of the cryptids. All right. So, a little bit more about the Magic 8 Ball. The liquid inside of it, Dan. What is it? What is inside the Magic 8 Ball?
Well, as you people know, there's a there's a dye inside. That's just a normal dye. There's nothing too magical about that. But the liquid that this dye is suspended in, it's been tested. There's no known conclusion as to what it is. That's why we're going to refer to it.
Not even a hint.
Not a single hint.
Wow.
We've poured through the databases that we have here. Every available book, reference, article published on it. We've poured through it. No information on this. That's why we decided to coin the term magic juice. Actually,
that's a pretty succinct name. I think that really sums up what we're working with here.
Yeah.
So just going off that, I mean, we have no clue what's inside of it.
No idea.
Another famous liquid that people don't know what's inside of it, Coca-Cola. So
we don't know.
It's possible that the inside of a Magic 8 Ball could be blue Coke.
Yeah.
All right, but there's not the kind of thing you want to be drinking. It's been shown that drinking the juice inside the ball can grant the ability to tell the future. Now, that sounds like a powerful ability that would be worth the risk, but the stakes are pretty high.
Yeah.
Back in elementary school, my buddy Kevin drank some of the blue magic juice.
Yeah.
And you know what he told me?
What? What'd he say?
He said, I think I'm going to die. And you know what? He did. It was pretty bad. So,
wow.
Very strongly not recommended to drink the blue magic juice.
Definitely do not drink that, even for the magical powers it gives you. It's not worth it. Put your lead vest on and sit around.
And just wait.
Yeah, and then just wait.
Just wait it out.
Yeah, and just wait.
Let the power come to you. So, let's look at some of the like children of the Magic 8 Ball, closely related cousins, such as the Magic Conch.
Oh, yeah. Popularized in SpongeBob, of course.
Right, as everyone's familiar with. So what it's famous for, really, is the ability to speak to the user instead of having, forcing the user to read out of the inside of the ball.
Yeah, it's so much effort with the 8 Ball. You got to shake it around. You got to ask it a question. You got to look at it. You got to read the response. That's 4 steps right there. It's 4 too many.
That's precious calories you're spent reading that you could be, putting your good knowledge to work immediately. So, not really worth it.
Yeah, the Magic Conch, on the other hand, it's perfect. You ask it your question, you pull the string. You don't have to waste your time reading. You let your ears do the reading for you. Here, we call it hearing.
Now, that is a revolutionary concept. I'm definitely going to have to practice that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
That said, thank you, listeners, for hearing our broadcast this week. All right, so that's about all we've got for the Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah.
But next on the list is another a real popular one. You've probably heard of this.
A little darker than the Magic 8 Ball. The connotations that go along with this.
Right.
A little spookier.
Linked to the occult.
Yeah.
Its magic is much more powerful. But it's also...
But you can't drink it.
Right, exactly. The thing we're talking about is the Ouija board. So, the Ouija board, sometimes known as a Green Mario board, is used to talk to spirits, quote-unquote, from the other side. So, what is the other side? Well, I mean, I think we'll leave that up to our listeners to decide. Yeah. We're not going to make that judgment call for you.
No way.
But there is a famous, historical documentary anecdote about what's on the other side.
Yeah.
You've probably heard this before, but, why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
To get to the other side. Boom.
Boom, right there. Truth bomb on you guys. What is the other side? It's where the chicken is heading.
Right. So, a lot of people don't really, think about that classic joke. I think it's got a lot more depth than people give it credit for.
Probably a joke made by some sort of secret association to communicate with each other back in the day. You ask them, why does a chicken cross the road? And if they know the correct answer, then they're one of the boys. Or the girls, too.
They're one of the enlightened ones. Who have asked where the chicken has gone.
Yes, exactly.
So, it's well known that there are lots of chickens on the other side that can be contacted. And if you actually don't have access to a Ouija board, but you want to hear the ghostly wails of chickens from beyond the grave, we recommend you just wait a couple hours after eating KFC, and believe me, you'll hear them.
You'll hear those whales, trust me.
Clucking from beyond.
Okay. That's really all we have for Ouija boards. Not really something you should be messing with,
Very powerful magic.
Yeah, talking to chickens, it could be cool. But, you can talk to them while they're alive, and, it's just as cool. It's just as cool. They still cluck.
Right. Actually, lots of chickens in the valley. I know driving home from class, I sometimes pass, someone's got what looks like a chicken pen in their backyard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Lots of opportunities to, feed chickens on the road, see what they're thinking, what they're feeling.
Stop and have a conversation with them, get to know them.
Right, just see what's up. A little known fact is if chickens are laying down on the ground, they're either laying eggs or anticipating rain. So if you're passing a big field full of chickens and they're all laying down, get your raincoat out and your rain boots.
Or pick them up, see if there's some eggs under there, snag their eggs.
Or check for eggs.
But ask for permission first.
Right, exactly.
Take their eggs. But,
especially if it's not actually your chicken.
Yeah, definitely.
But
moving away from chicken talk.
Good tips. All right, this next subject is pretty much a doozy.
Yeah. It's both something Sam and I, we've been looking into it, and we've been working on trying to get certified in this sort of topic, so we can give you guys the most up-to-date information.
Right, and believe it or not, there's actually a lot harder to pin down than you think. The next topic is palm reading.
Yeah, we have a guidebook on palm reading, but it is entirely...
Several books.
Yeah, in Chinese.
Right,
so,
traditional Mandarin.
Yeah.
A little hard to parse out if you don't speak it.
There's 3 or 4 photos throughout the entire book. It's hard.
Oh, right, and very poorly drawn photos, mind you.
Terribly drawn.
This book's over about 500 years old by this publisher stamp on it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Penguin Books.
We're not sponsored by Penguin Books.
All right. So, so there's a big subject. Everyone's got 2 palms, and everyone, ever since you were a baby, you've been trying to figure out what they are. You know what babies do, stick their whole hands in their mouth. That's how they figure things out.
Exactly.
And despite
their brains are in their mouth.
Right. Despite their best efforts of all our baby researchers that we have on contract here at WXJM Studios.
Which is a ridiculous amount, truly.
Huge amount of researchers. We haven't been able to get to the bottom of this ourselves.
No.
Even with our experts out in the field.
No.
Getting their hands dirty, so to speak.
We've even sent West Virginia Rob, one of the best experts we have. He wasn't able to crack the code. And there's never been something he can't crack, folks.
Right. So it's just a lot to decompress.
It is a lot.
We're going to send you guys a PSA. The time is now 6:15. We're already a quarter of the way through our show, sadly.
Through. We're sorry, folks.
Right. I'm just going to find the PSAs in our database.
Yeah, once we're done with these PSAs, we'll get right back to the palm reading. Sam and I have some really enlightening information.
All right. And we're just going to send that up for you.
Here we go, folks. Be back in a second.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location?
In the woods, just outside of town.
Oh, not surprising. You've got your home. Bears have theirs.
Yeah, but see, this wasn't just any bear. This bear was wearing jeans and a hat, as in a Smokey Bear.
Jeans and a hat. That's definitely Smokey. What exactly did he have to say?
Well, we were about to head home, after having a bonfire.
Oh, I can guess where this is going.
Right. See, Smokey told me the fire wasn't actually out. He said if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
That's true. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans? That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Wow, no kidding?
I'm a forest ranger. We never kid.
Sorry.
that was a joke.
Oh.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference, because 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Laisse-moi. Bon.
All right, WXJM fans, we are back. Just a reminder, we are broadcasting on 88.7 FM, WXJM Harrisonburg.
Live from the valley every single night.
on
Every
Wednesdays.
single Wednesday night, 6 to 7.
Every single Wednesday night,
We
6
wish
to
it
7.
was every single night, folks.
And, we're sure you guys want that too, but, we've got other stuff to be doing.
Yeah.
Research in the field.
The research takes weeks to compile, really, even with all the help that we have.
Thousands of man-hours each week going to each broadcast.
Easily.
So we're condensing it down, just the nitty-gritty for the people.
The juiciest bits for you people. That's what we give you.
Right.
The juiciest bits.
The most succulent morsels for the people of the valley.
Yeah. All right, back to the succulent morsels of palm reading.
Right, the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there are all sorts of lines all over your palms. I'm just giving you the basic, Sam and I, we read through the Mandarin text. We gleaned what we could. We have a rather elementary understanding of Mandarin. But we sort of deduced that there's like there's about 8 lines on your hand. Each one has a different name. For example, there's the lifeline, there's the headline,
right,
the sun line, the money line.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the money line's really where we've been focused.
Huge money line on my hand that I can see right now.
Yeah, mine wraps all the way around my pinky, circles back, makes a cash sign. I mean, I don't know what it means. I can't interpret that, but
it must mean something good, I think.
Probably. Beyond the money line,
you got the marriage line.
Mm-hmm.
You got the health line.
Yeah.
The lifeline is a pretty big one, and the fate line. Is that all of them?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right.
I think that the health line is like a health bar. As you get sicker or weaker or something, it decreases with time, and then eventually, once it's your time to pass, then it's gone.
Yeah. No more health line.
Mm-hmm. No more health line.
That's why bodies in caskets often have their hands crossed face down, because you don't want to see their health line being completely gone.
Yeah, it's
a little jarring.
Demoralizing, yeah.
Right. So if you want to look those up, it's freely available information on the internet. You can check out those lines for yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But an even easier resource is the 2 hands right in front of you. Now, believe it or not, most people actually have most of these lines. Some of them are kind of hard to see, but if you take a nice long bath and get your hands nice and wrinkly, get some extra lines in there, you can actually get extra fortune tellings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you want.
easy way to increase your lines. You could add a little bit more lifeline on there, add some more money line. Or just bend your hand where you really want a bigger line. Work on those lines. Be out there grinding on those lines.
Right. If you're going for a really big lifeline, you can just kind of cup your hand into a fist like a scoop, as if you're holding a baseball.
Yeah.
And just hold it there for a few hours, and you'll have, really solid crease. You're not going to be,
Yeah, you'll be one healthy boy.
Right,
That's
exactly.
what they say.
So, back to the subject of palm reading, which we were talking about, but
palm reading.
Palm reading, believe it or not all palms have coconuts. So I know it's easy to, get confused with palm reading and, palm reading.
Yeah.
But we're actually not climbing trees. We're actually talking about your hands.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, specifically the palms of your hands, not the palms on the beach, as nice as they are.
Yeah, definitely. Good distinction to make. It's harder to read trees than it is to read your own hands, but it can be done.
If we were doing tree reading, it would be Ericacece reading, not palm reading.
Yeah.
That's the scientific name for the palm family of vegetation.
Write that down, folks.
Ericacece.
Yeah.
All right. So, little known fact, human palms are actually named after coconuts, mostly because it's possible to hold exactly one coconut in your palm.
Exactly. Yeah.
And listeners, if you're feeling really adventurous, completely up to you, but if you ever find yourself in a situation where you can see multiple coconuts, you could try holding more than one. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, no way. No way. No one can do it. Not even Yao Ming with those giant mitts. One coconut per palm. That's it. That's the rule.
Right, exactly. Unless you got webbed fingers, good luck.
And if you do have webbed fingers, call in.
Give us a call. For
Please.
Sure. We want to hear your story.
We would love to know about the webbed fingers.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, moving back to the palm readings, not the Ericacece readings, it's, pretty much common knowledge that getting a certified palm reading by an expert is the quickest and easiest way to get rid of $20 fast. So if you've got, an Andrew Johnson burning a hole in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pop on over to a palm reading station,
Right.
slap that 20 down on the table, and get those palms read.
Right, just get it out of there.
Yeah, get that money line traced, get that lifeline traced, get your headline traced.
Get every line that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The easy way to blow through 20 smackers.
Lots of good lines out there.
Yeah.
And if it turns out that maybe your marriage line isn't looking so good, getting your palms read is another great way to be able to hold hands with someone.
Free human contact.
For a little bit.
I shouldn't say free, $20.
Right. It comes with a cost.
Yeah.
But well worth it. If you haven't seen the sunlight in several days, skin's a little clammy, but you just got to hold hands with someone, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, $20 for 5 minutes of hand holding is well worth it.
Right. And you can even make up a backstory, pretend you're friends or whatever you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's been said that reading your palm can determine your long-term health, your wealth, and other aspects of your future. That's what each of the lines corresponds to. Much like the lines down a highway, they just tell you where you're going to go.
Yeah.
So in a way, our hands and, Route 81 coming through Harrisonburg, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, they are almost exactly the same.
Not much different when it really comes down to the details.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a really important line. Sorry, folks, got a little bit of a dry mouth. A real important line is the headline. Briefly mentioned that, but that's how often you're going to show up in newspapers. So if you have a really big headline, watch out for paparazzi.
Yeah.
Is my advice to you.
It also corresponds to just raw head size.
Right. If you've got a coconut-sized noggin, look for the headline.
Yeah, look for the headline. I mean, my head, it's an average size. My headline, it's been compared to average people's headlines. My co-host Sam, his head little larger than usual. His headline is enormous.
Pretty big headline over here, folks.
All right. Moving on from palm reading. Let's get into another really big topic. I'm sure some people have heard about these, but maybe they haven't used them or they have never seen them, really. I know before researching this, I've never used them before.
I've made my own, but I've never seen them in person.
Yeah? We're talking tarot cards, folks.
Or if you're French, tarot.
Yeah. But we're American here.
Right, so we're just going to call them tarot.
Tarot cards. Like that.
Them there tarot cards.
Tarot cards. All right, enough of that.
Not to be confused with carrot cards, which are used to determine crop yields and carrots harvested based on the size and circumference,
Yeah, of the carrots.
If you're a farmer, you're very familiar with carrot cards, but we're about to give you a knowledge blast of something you probably never heard of.
Granted, carrot cards are extremely useful, and you might even get more use out of them than you will tarot cards.
Right. Your mileage may vary,
You never know.
Apply based on your circumstances.
Yeah.
Really.
So basically, how tarot cards works, there's 77 cards in total, 21 major ones, 14 of each of the four suits.
That's a lot of cards.
Yeah.
77 cards. That's pretty crazy. Could you give us some possible readings on those, Dan?
Yeah,
Give us a little sample of a card or two.
So, I should mention beforehand, while I was doing this research, I got certified as a tarot master, or
online free certification.
Yeah, from Phoenix EDU Online, as Master of Mysticism Dan. So basically, the tarot cards, you pick 6 of them. They correspond to 6 things. The first one is how you're feeling about yourself right now. Second, what you want most. The third, what you fear. The fourth is what's going for you. The fifth, what's going against you. And the sixth is the outcomes according to the current situation. It pertains to the first 6 cards that you picked. Now, Sam, right now, he's picking some cards from my hand.
Yep, I'm taking them out. These are nice cards, Dan. You must have spent a small fortune on these.
I wouldn't say a small fortune. A large fortune was spent on these.
Is this mother of pearl coated?
Yeah, absolutely. Mother of pearl coated, gold leaf ingrained. I poured out all the stops. When you're working with magic, folks, you don't cut corners. The most magical things are the most expensive.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Often true. And that's why a college education is so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Absolutely.
it's not just about the education, it's about the magic of learning. And, there's really no stronger magic than knowledge.
Absolutely. So
Write that down.
yeah. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of Sam's readings. So, Sam picked 6 cars for what you want for what he wants most right now. The card he picked was the world.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So he's looking
Pretty
for
specific.
Yeah. I mean, the man knows what he wants, folks. He's looking. He's willing to do hard work. He's waiting for the world to fall into his palms, but I shouldn't say he's waiting. He's working towards it. That's the world card.
Rise and grind, Harrisonburg.
Yeah, rise and grind.
That's my advice.
What's going against him? He picked the chariot card. What that means
I hate chariots, man.
Yeah. What that means is that he's arrogant and he's letting his ego, his ego's getting overinflated, and
Whoa.
nobody likes him.
I don't know about this. Pretty.
It's in the cards. It's
I
in the
think
cards,
this
folks.
reading's a little inaccurate, folks.
Folks, this is live from the cards, and the cards don't lie, and I certainly do not.
All right.
Mother of pearl, golden grained.
I accept my fate then. These are some nice lithographs, I'll be honest.
And, I'll just hit him with the conclusion. The final card he picked, which is his likely outcome, he picked the High Priestess.
Ooh, nice.
It means that he's going to end up being flexible. He's going to be able to he's going to reach some promising outcomes.
Wow.
Very vague, but optimistic.
Right. I think that's referencing the yoga class I signed up for this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm pretty amazed. The cards knew that.
Mm.
They knew I was going to be more flexible by the end of this week.
Absolutely.
That's
the
awesome.
power of the tarot cards.
Dang.
All right.
So thanks for that reading, Dan. I
problem.
appreciate your expertise. You can put those cards away now.
Yeah.
Make sure you get all 3 of those locks down and the biometric scanner sealed safely. So, yeah, all 77 cards are put away.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, it's a pretty far cry from the 52 cards that are in a standard deck of cards of the non-tarot variety.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure everyone's familiar with, ace, queen, king, jack, 2 to 10, clubs, diamonds, spades, the other ones. And
read them all.
The ones that were made popular by the movie 21, in which MIT students count cards at Vegas casinos and win it big, which I think is arguably a better way to predict your future fortune by cheating at card games.
I would say probably a better use of your money than buying a very expensive tarot deck, although I'm very happy with my cards.
Right.
Money well spent.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so give us a little bit of the history of tarot cards.
All right.
Compared to the modern ones.
Let me pull these up in the database. Yeah. So it looks like back in the 1500s, people used to play, they just used to use these tarot cards just for fun. They were just using them for games and such. And then towards the 1600s and the early 1700s, people started using them for divinations, for magic.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Before it was an Olympic sport. All right, that was a diving joke, folks. Sorry about that.
It was a little stretched, but that's the way we do it up in the studio.
Hey, Dive Nation. That's all I can say.
Dive Nation. Yeah, anyways, it was a card game, and then people started using them for magic, which makes sense because the game that was played with them is pretty boring.
Medieval times are very boring.
Yeah, in general, it's just a terribly boring time.
Mud, sharecropping.
Yeah.
Getting killed by the French or the English, depending which country you were in.
Then getting killed by disease, getting killed by your wife.
Living to the ripe old age of 15.
Mm-hmm. Getting killed by some bugs.
Not being able to read.
Getting killed by some snakes.
Lots of stuff you get killed by.
Yeah.
Not a fun time.
Yeah, getting killed by just living, really. Anyways, yeah. Tough time to be around. They had 77 tarot cards. I mean, what could you even play with those? You could play like Goldfish. You do 77 card pickup.
Oh, that's a fun one.
I mean, I imagine that would be fun. It's like 52 card pickup, but with
bonus extra fun cards.
15 extra cards. Actually, I changed that number. 25.
Pretty
20.
close. Hey, math is hard, folks.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
Whew. Yeah. 25 bonus cards for fun.
Yeah, so 77 cards. They started improvising uses for them because, they got pretty bored after all the Go Fish.
Yeah.
And because bikes hadn't been invented yet for them to stick the cards into their bike spokes, they started doing tarot readings. So speaking of reading things about the future, we're going to send you guys some promos. The time is now 6:30.
Yep.
So Saturday, 10th February at Crayola, 10 p.m., we've got Lore PA, Bat Motel, Psychonaut, and Schlepp playing at Crayola Saturday, 10th February. Also, Saturday, 10th February, at the Easy Greasy at 9:30 p.m., we got Black Lantis Collective, Grizzly with 2 Z's, Keynote, Edge, and Nixon.
Wednesday, February 14th, at Crayola at 10 p.m., we got Dog Hospice, we got Edgar Allan Poe Boy, and we got Zoo and Zoo. Again, that's at 10 at Crayola, Wednesday. Of course, next Wednesday, not tonight.
Right. 14th February.
Yeah. And every Tuesday at the Artful Dodger, 7 to 9 p.m., there's student jazz combos.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, live music every Friday.
And Tuesday.
Yeah, and Tuesday.
Apparently.
Yeah, both.
All right, so those are some options if you guys are looking for stuff to do in the Valley.
In the Berg.
Yep, we got 10th February is pretty loaded, 14th February, and then every Tuesday and Friday at the Dodger, some live
Go
music.
see yourself some jazz.
If you want to, if you're into that sort of thing.
If you like that sort of thing.
Jazz is an acquired taste, so definitely not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've told you guys enough about tarot cards.
Yeah,
Thanks for
moving
bearing
on.
with us. If anyone has experience with tarot cards or palm readings, I'd just like to give you the opportunity to call in.
Or again, if you have webbed hands, that's
Right.
still weighing heavily on my mind.
We're looking for webbed hands out there.
Yeah.
The phone number for the studio is 540-JMU-DIAL. Again, that's 540-JMU-DIAL. Just go ahead and call in. We'll give you a shout out. See what's up.
Yeah. 540-568-3425 for those who don't like words.
Right. Modern phones don't really have the letters on there.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell.
I can imagine it'd be kind of annoying. Anyways, we're moving on. We're done with tarot cards. We're getting into another big topic, fortune tellers. Now, typically the people form of fortune tellers, they're gypsies. They travel around. They got caravans pulled by donkeys, and they pull up and they have magic crystal balls, and they wave their arms around it and tell you things about yourself. And the way they wear things on their head, like rags.
All right, we're getting a call, folks. I'm going to take this real quick. Thanks for our listeners for calling in. We love our fans.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, WXJM Harrisonburg, Sam and Dan show.
So right now, Sam's on the phone right now taking this call. I don't want to get too into the fortune tellers while he's on there.
So, Dan, we got breaking news.
Let's hear it.
One of our listeners right here in Rockingham County has webbed hands and can hold multiple coconuts.
Oh, wow. How webbed are these hands?
He's given us numbers of 4 to 6 coconuts. Sir, that is unbelievable.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Thank you.
Wow. Just fantastic hands. Super webbed. What a treat. What a treat. I would love to see that someday. It's one of my dreams, really, to see a man
Holy
with
cow.
webbed hands.
Thanks for calling in with that, listener.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure the people know.
Passing on the facts.
Thanks for calling.
If you're in Rockingham County.
Let's hear from you next week.
Yeah. So what do you have to say?
All right. So our friend with web hands, we'll call him Webster. He said he can hold 4 to 6 coconuts by distributing one coconut into each web pocket in his hand.
Wow.
So he
That's
definitely gifted, definitely got some strengths
incredible.
that we could all learn from.
Absolutely incredible.
Again, thanks for calling in, Webster.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Webster, if you're out there, you're a great man.
We salute you.
Make good use of those webs, my man. All right. Getting back into it. I was talking about fortune tellers, gypsies to be exact. Again, I mentioned they're in caravans. They got crystal balls. They play funky music,
Mm-hmm.
and they do weird jigs around fires.
Lots of pickpocketing.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Depends what country you're in.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah. Yeah, that's that's about all there is to know about human fortune tellers. More importantly, though, when we're talking fortune tellers, we're talking about the origami hand devices. You made them back in elementary school. Also,
everyone's done it.
Yeah, they're called cootie catchers. Also, very magical devices. Can help you figure out who likes who. Back in the day, back in 6th grade, that was a hot topic.
Or how many kids you're gonna have.
Yeah, or how
something.
much money you'll have in ones. And
right, it was kind of like that game MASH, except you had the paper fortune teller do it for you.
Yeah.
Again, all about efficiency. This magic business.
Yeah, and if you move your hands real fast with the cootie catcher, you look really cool. I still do it all the time to this day. I'm doing it right now in studio. Put the tarot cards away. I'm moving my cootie catcher.
Holy cow, those are some fast hands, Dan. My goodness, folks.
That was the sound of me going buck wild in here.
I'm surprised that paper hasn't spontaneously combusted from pure speed.
Yeah. Also, according to this, I'm going to have 18 kids.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Hey,
Terrible. Terrible.
Good luck.
Okay. Oh, man.
All right, so yeah, not a lot to say about fortune tellers. I guess they're just kind of enablers of all these other magical devices.
It helps the kids get into a little bit of magic when they're young.
Right, when you're just starting out.
Yeah.
But, the biggest thing that fortune tellers are known for is their connections to astrology. So, some pretty famous astrologers out there, Galileo.
Yeah.
Copernicus. Madame Tussaud.
Yeah.
And just recently, we actually had a new blue blood moon. Do you remember what that was? It was
new blue blood moon. That's
shoe
right.
Blue.
Yeah, shoe
New moon.
Shoe new moon 2, something like that.
Right. So apparently, huge moon.
Yeah,
brand new,
moon, dude. The moon is huge
and
tonight.
it was blue.
Yeah.
No, that was like 2 nights ago.
The moon was huge 2 nights ago.
But yeah, right. 2 nights.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a tongue twister. Say that 10 times fast.
I won't.
But yeah, hope you guys saw that. I didn't see it. I kind of forgot it was happening, so I just stayed inside at night.
I had other
Pretty
things
cold.
going on, out doing my thing. Anyways, Tonight, though, is a new moon. In astrology, that signifies beginnings. And I should say, in terms of beginnings, if this is your first time listening and you're just beginning to listen, you continue to do so, if you like, every 6 to 7 Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
Flip those around every Wednesday, 6 to 7.
Every Wednesday, 6 to 7, Sam and Dan Show, 88.7. Also available online at WXJM.org.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me, Dan, we actually have the SoundCloud up and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So for our listeners, if you missed the show, you can check it out at soundcloud.com/SamandDanShow. All lowercase, and is spelled out. It's not an ampersand. Ampersands are a very nice character, but I don't like including them in URLs for personal reasons. But check out the Sam and Dan Show on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And you can catch up. We're actually recording the show right now as we speak. So back to astrology and star signs.
We're getting past the new moon. The moon, it's got magical powers and such, but there are some things that are more important, like zodiac signs. And we ran ourselves through the zodiac signs, and you may remember we ran Nessie through zodiac signs as well. It's something that we find very useful. It's just the perfect description of a person.
Right. It's your easy go-to.
Yeah.
You're having your morning coffee. You're like, oh, let me check my zodiac.
Yeah, it's what we always do. Anyways, I came up, I'm Aquarius. Of course, I'm an Aquarius.
Right, of course. Could not be more obvious to me.
Yeah, Aquarius, I'm progressive. I'm original, independent, humanitarian.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty much everything, everything. And I'm a good listener. Intellectual conversation. That's something that I like, apparently.
Wow.
Which, I like intellectual conversation. I have intellectual conversation every night here. Well, every Wednesday night.
Right.
That's really once a week.
That's when we just dump the intellectualism straight out the intellectual spigot that we have attached to the wall behind us.
I bring my huge whopping brain in here, and I slam it down on the table and let it blast out this information. That's the intellectual conversation I have.
Right. That's what we're going for, folks. Then, for the fans out there, can you give us an Aquarius's compatibility? I think people want to know, the ladies of the valley.
Yeah.
If they're into that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Toss it out there.
Yeah. Let me see what I can pull up here in the database. So, Aquarius, they can get together with anybody because, we are the best. We are the chosen ones. But
right.
In general, in terms of the Aquarius, the greatest aphrodisiac for an Aquarius is intellectual stimulation.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah, if there's someone out there who can poke my brain, booyah.
Send some
saying.
Sudoku to the studio.
Yeah. Email me riddles. That's all I'm saying. That's all I need.
All right. So, a little bit about myself. I'm actually a Scorpio, according to the database.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. My element is water, and my quality is fixed, according to our records.
Both those also apply to me.
My strengths are resourceful, bravery. I've been told to be passionate, but also sometimes stubborn. But most importantly, a true friend. Things that I like, according to my star sign: truth, facts, being right, longtime friends, and having a grand passion. And, I really don't think they could have nailed the head more on the nail with that one. So, that was a pretty solid read.
Yeah.
It was like I was reading my own biography.
Mm-hmm.
I think I must have ghostwritten this page.
He definitely did.
When I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah. It's a Scorpio thing.
Right. Management,
ghostwriting,
solving, and creativity.
But how does
Scorpio stuff.
How does Scorpio interact with the females? What is a Scorpio looking for in a mate?
So, according to this, I'm looking for colors scarlet, red, and rust on Tuesdays.
So if you're rusty,
on a
here.
Tuesday.
The Scorpio Sam is here.
And the greatest compatibility is with Taurus and Cancer. So, any Taurus and Cancer folks out there looking to start something up.
And if you're rusty and you're Taurus, if you're a rusty bowl person.
Right. Or a red Cancer person.
Yeah, then.
Either one of those, good to go.
Yeah. Sam's right here in the studio.
Right.
You know where to find him.
Okay. So, yeah, those are kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty exciting stuff. Looking up to the stars to tell us new things. Speaking of looking up to the sky to tell us things, we got a weather report for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Because the time is now 6:45. We're 3/4 done with our show, unfortunately.
Sorry about that. We can't stay on all night as much as we would like to.
We tried booking as many slots as we could, and they would only give us one.
Yeah.
So.
It's a shame, folks. Anyways, getting into the weather right now in the Berg. It's 38 and cloudy. Looks like it's about to... It's going to stay around the 30s all night, dropping to the low of 30 around 12 a.m.
That's pretty cold.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be extra cold. It's going to be 20s all the way up until noon. But there's going to be some sunlight, so that's good because in case you're not in the Berg, it was rainy all day today, torrentially rainy. And those of us who bike to our classes, it was a tough time. It was a really tough time. I was drenched the entire day. I soaked every single seat I sat in. It was rough.
Wow. That sounds like quite the ordeal, Dan.
Yeah, I really had to throw that in.
I'm glad you survived and made it this far.
Yeah.
In good health to broadcast to the people.
Yeah, it's an Aquarius thing. We're very durable. And we're also aloof.
Right.
Aloofa. or aloof also. Both.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so up next on our list of mythical items with powerful magic is tea leaf readings.
Ooh.
Now, this is something really special that we were really looking forward to sharing with you guys today.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to do a live tea leaf reading in the studio. Now, unfortunately, our tea leaf expert bailed, our blend master, and we're going to have to do it ourselves. But we're doing it live.
That's all right. We took the training course online, and we're ready to do it. We're ready to party.
Right. All right, so let's get this nice piping hot pot of tea into the studio.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab this real quick. Ow! All right, it's a little hot. Didn't spill any, though.
Very hot.
We're good. All right, so I'm just going to set this down. Do you have the tea leaves ready to go, Dan?
The thing is about the tea leaves, we don't actually have any of those in studio. I do have some coffee beans.
Close enough.
I say we drop some of those in. We see what happens.
All right.
All right. So we're according to normal tea leaf tradition, you just you put a pinch of tea leaves. In our case, it's going to be coffee beans. Or we can grind the coffee up real quick by smacking it with some stuff in here.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you put a little bit of a pinch in, and you leave the contents to swirl on the top of the cup, and then you read the shapes that the tea leaves form. And we're going to do the same thing, but with coffee beans. So, Sam, if you don't mind dropping those beans in the water.
All right, here we go. I'm just going to pinch these in there.
Yeah. And it definitely looks like there are beans floating on the water. And they're moving now, mostly because we're breathing on it.
Right. Swirl them around a little bit.
We're going to shake the cup just a little bit.
Okay, got some on the Gandalf board, but we're good. We're good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Continuing
it's waterproof, we're pretty sure.
Yeah, no problem. All this studio equipment, completely waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I regularly spill huge beverages on most of the electronics in here.
Mega big gulps every single time.
And, they're still cranking.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little rice on there overnight, and they're good to go. None the wiser of the WXJM staff.
No one knows.
So
anyway, so now we got to drain the water, and we got to read the beans as they lay at the bottom of the mug.
We don't read them while they're floating? Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
you have to drain it first.
Oh, we drink the water. Okay, all right, sounds good.
You can drink the water.
All right, here we go. All right, that was rough. Pretty hot water. All right, Dan, let's take a look. What are the tea leaves saying? What can you make out? You give it your best shot. I'll give it my best shot.
So right here, I'm going to describe this for you folks. So we got the mug. It's got a wide bottom. It's a cylindrical mug. It's not one that tapers down. So the beans are sitting flush on the bottom, and it looks like we have sort of an L shape forming between about 3 of the beans. L. I'm gonna using this the interpretation.
L for lucrative future.
Yeah,
perhaps
that's what I'm thinking. Or also, it also looks like a couple of the beans are forming an owl.
Wow.
And according to our translator here, that indicates sickness or poverty, which, maybe let's shake this around a little bit. Maybe it's not an owl.
All right. Similar to the Magic 8 Ball, the more you shake it up, the better.
The
better
better
your
your
results are
reading
going to be.
Just keep shaking it up till you get what you want. That's the way it works. So we're going to shake this up a couple times, see what we get.
All right, hold on. I think I'm getting something.
Yeah.
All right, so there's something in the leaves here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a letter. So
Okay.
I've got an I.
All right.
I'm reading out a D.
Okay.
This looks like 10 little grains in a row. So we've got ID 10. And the last letter is a T. So ID 10T. If someone wants to write that down for me, just get out a pen and paper, write down ID 10T, and call in. Let me know what it says. I would really appreciate it. I'm not really sure what that means.
Yeah. There's nothing in here about that. It's probably because Sam and I have such high magical essence. We're probably throwing off the bean reading.
We're just overloading the beans. They don't know what to do. They're going crazy.
We blasted the beans with a whole lot of magic right before this. I had my tarot cards. I was throwing the tarot cards at them.
Right. I was petting a magic bunny in here. I pulled it out of my top hat. A strong magical aura.
Yeah,
going
all
on.
over the beans. So, that's just you guys can do the tea leaf reading at your own house too. You don't even need tea leaves. You could do it with regular leaves. Go outside, pick some leaves up off the ground, dunk it in some water. Although you do have to drink the water, which
could be dangerous depending on your water source. So be mindful of that.
Be very mindful.
We're not liable for any damages caused to yourself.
No, definitely not.
By drinking pond water.
Yeah, there's also a pretty good guide on how to do it by the TUSA.com, if you want a guide.
Right. If you guys want to replicate our results, which you won't be able to because ours are pretty good.
Yeah, ours were incredible. Truly one of a kind.
You can give it a shot.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming pretty close to the end of our broadcast this week.
Yeah.
But we still have a couple more topics to cover.
Oh, yeah. There's always magical things to talk about because this world is full of magic.
Right. And, the important thing is that you never stop asking questions and figuring out what's out there.
Yeah. And like Tinkerbell, if you stop believing, then the magic dies.
Right. But the more you believe, the stronger the magic gets.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. It's pretty much 1-to-1 direct ratio, belief to magic ability. All right.
There is causation between that correlation. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so our next magical item is actually more of a magical animal, and it's not a rabbit's foot, but it is...
It's also not a rabbit.
Right, also not related to rabbits at all.
No.
But it's a black cat. Now, it's commonly known that, if your path gets crossed by a black cat, you're donezo. Like, basically,
absolutely.
Game over, write your will right then and there because, time's up.
Yeah. There, in case some of you don't go to JMU, there are some black cats that live over by Burris Hall, and when I'm walking over there, I have to match the pace that the cats are moving to make sure they don't pass me. We have to stay at the same pace. That's the only way to avoid them.
Right. It really just turns into a foot race between you and the cats.
And the cat's trying to get you with that dark magic, and you got to keep up in order to stop it.
Right. They're sneaky creatures. Cats cannot really be trusted.
No.
Especially black ones because they're the most magical.
Yeah.
And the most dangerous.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times if you're over by Burris Hall where two black cats are known to live, it looks like a track meet over there. Just people sprinting forward, trying to outrun the cats.
Get past the cats as fast as possible.
Everyone pushing each other over. Little strategy, if you ever find yourself in that situation, do a 180, turn around, and moonwalk over your original course because that cancels out the magic because it's no longer crossing your path. It's crossing where you were already because you're going backwards.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a life hack for you in case your path gets crossed by a black cat. Or if you manage to somehow pet the cat, then
then you're good.
Then you're in good graces.
Yeah. Or
so
if you bring something to appease the cats, also, I always carry around cans of sardines with me, mostly because I enjoy the fishy, oily flavor. But every once in a while, I'll toss one of those bad boys to the cat to appease it. Otherwise, who knows what sort of dark magic could befall.
Right, powerful cat magic that you don't want to goof around with for sure.
Yeah. My life's bad enough as it is.
Better a couple sardines than, what else, whatever you got left.
Not a lot. So moving on, we're talking about things that could cause bad luck or bad juju. Also, walking under ladders, that's a big one.
Right. That's not something I personally prescribe myself to.
No, me neither. Sam and I, when we were doing research on this, we decided to put that theory to the test, and we actually brought a ladder in studio, and we've been doing this entire broadcast under the ladder, and nothing bad has befallen us.
It's actually a very convenient set of shelves on the one side for holding our teacups.
Yeah. All sorts of snacks up there too. We got like fruit gushers, and we got Pop-Tarts sitting up there.
Some Doritos,
all over the place.
Good stuff, and no bad luck so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say just good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can hear me now, and, I'm just happy to be here. Good luck to all my listeners.
Yeah, exactly. If you get the chance to pop under a ladder, give it a shot. Give it a shot, folks.
Right. What's the worst that could happen? Not much.
Yeah,
really.
not much, really. And again, another thing that could possibly cause bad juju or bad luck, breaking mirrors. I've personally never broken a mirror. But I've also never had bad luck. So I can't really prove that breaking mirrors does cause bad luck or that it doesn't.
Kind of hard to, really make a determined decision on that one.
I'm thinking, go to Lowe's after this, pick up a mirror and smash it. Probably.
Just start checking mirrors at the wall.
Yeah, see if I get any bad luck.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's something we're going to have to try.
Send out a few Facebook messages to the ladies. If I get rejected, it's because the mirrors broke.
Right.
That's
definitely
the only possibility.
The only reason is those broken mirrors. And if, it works out, which I'm sure it would,
Absolutely.
then it's just a myth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not too afraid of that.
No.
I think the only bad luck that comes from breaking mirrors is if, you punch it, and then you could probably cut your hand.
Yeah, that's bad. Don't do that.
Don't try it. Not
Throw
good.
your mirrors. Don't punch them, folks.
Right. Put on safety equipment. Make sure you have goggles.
Yeah, get your boys
gloves.
together. Beat it up as a team. Have some fun.
Right. Teamwork makes the dream work. And everyone knows mirrors are very, very weak against teamwork.
Never sees it coming. Mirrors can only see from one side, folks. Unless it's double-sided. And then you're in for a rough time.
Oh, yeah. Not good.
Yeah.
All right. So we've only got a couple minutes left on air.
One more
before
topic.
They drag us kicking and screaming out of the studio.
Yeah.
But
Kicking
believe
and
us,
screaming for you.
we've got the door barricaded with a ladder.
We'll hold them out as long as we can. We got nothing but ladders in here. If they want to get to us, they're going to have to walk through thousands of them.
Right. And all the mirrors that we've broken on the way over.
It's a death trap. And a bunch of cats we let loose.
So it's been said that the only way to undo all this dangerous magic and bad luck is by throwing salt over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan and I, real quick, we're just going to discuss, what type of salt is the best salt for throwing over your shoulder.
Definitely.
Because there are very many different types of salt.
Mm-hmm.
So as we know, since we're men of science,
of course.
we're just going to throw this out to you. The mineral name for salt is actually halite, which is, what it's mined in its natural form. Chemical composition, NaCl, sodium chloride.
Nice.
But, there are lots of different strains of salt, depending on where it's from, that give the salt different properties. They all taste the same, but they look slightly different.
Yeah.
So we've got the big ones. We've got iodized table salt, non-iodized table salt, sodium in Chinese food salt, pink Himalayan salt, black salt from somewhere, Baltic black salt?
Possibly.
That's
sea salt.
Sounds about right. Sea salt, organic sea salt, which is like regular sea salt, but it's organic.
Yeah, fresh.
And then we got McDonald's fries sea salt, or just regular salt.
A whole other animal.
Right.
Truly.
So that's at least 7 or 8 different types of salt. You also got the kind of salt that you get from tears, from when someone's salty. That's what they call it. So if you can collect that salt, I would argue that's probably the most powerful type of salt.
Potent. It's powered by emotion and fear and sadness.
Whereas most salt is just, dryly collected from the environment in a very boring fashion.
It's
no
just
motion.
tasty rocks, really. That's all it is.
Right. So,
going on uses for salt beyond tossing it over your shoulder, salt's also been said to be used as an anti-ghost properties. You could put it on your hands and you'd be able to touch a ghost. So if you have a haunting, get yourself a bat, cover it in salt.
And yourself in salt.
Yeah, and yourself in salt.
Eat some pretzels real quick.
Yeah, just get super salty, and when the ghost appears, just jump them, dude. Just beat them up, get them out of your house. And it also, salt has the properties to stave off the spirits that make food taste bad. So, if your food's haunted with foul taste, blast it with some salt.
Yeah, that's just proven science. And they've known that since the Middle Ages. The more salt possible, the better your food's going to taste. Because evil forces invade our homes to make our food not taste as good. So that's why you got to add salt.
Exactly.
Get that sodium content in. Make sure you're hitting those minimums.
Hitting those maximums. That's what I'm talking about. Hit the ceiling. Anyways, folks, that looks like that's really all the time we have. They're sending the boys in to come get us out.
Right. We'll surrender willingly this time.
Yeah, just so we can come and report to you again next week, Wednesday, 6 to 7. WXJM Harrisonburg, this is Sam and Dan Show.
All right, and we're signing off.